The other day, I made a video about mental health. I did talk about some of my opinion. A majority of it was my opinion. And then I went on some website to pretty much see what professional had to say. One thing I forgot to mention, or if I had come across this video, I would have included this clip into that video, is the fact that sometimes when people have mental health issue, it is good to speak to someone, because usually when you have so much going in your head, you don't know what to do with it. And just by speaking to someone, it sometimes alleviates you from the stress of having all those things going through your mind. So here is the video that I came across and I thought you guys should see, and I should have put it with that video as well. The video is about Princess Diana talking to one of her coach, I believe it's her voice coach, who was helping her with to do speeches and stuff like that. So when she started talking to him, I believe she sort of let a lot of things out of her mind, and that sort of helped her. And she had no one in the palace to pretty much talk to. No one really cared about whatever she was thinking, and they sort of label her of some sort. She has mental issues. Maybe she did, maybe she doesn't, but the thought that she had, the issues she was having, nobody gave a damn about what she was thinking. So yeah, talking to people about your issues is very important. Not just anybody, people you trust. I mean, people you trust, you could tell your worries, your personal issues. So yeah, sometimes it's good to find someone to talk to. So that's one of the things I forgot to mention on my last video. Before you continue, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
It's a tape of Princess Diana unlike any you've ever seen. For a woman so guarded, the conversation is strikingly honest. For a woman so polished, surprisingly informal. It's a remarkable videotape, hidden away for years and only now come to light. Who was Diana talking to? And why did the normally private princess, who almost never granted interviews, sit down for such an intimate discussion? The story begins in 1992, the royal family's most troubled year.
Just nobody to physically scream at or someone put their arms around me, just listen. Just nobody to physically scream at or someone put their arms around me, just listen. Just listen. Just listen.
The thought kept crossing my mind as we were talking that she was looking awfully sad, given that she'd only known Louise for such a short time. And I got the feeling in the back of my mind there were other things on her mind. Her eyes filled up with tears, noticeably. And she said, yes, everywhere I go I'm being watched by cameras and I'm being tape recorded. I haven't got a life. She said, I've had 11 years of this crap and I'm getting out. And I was shocked. And I assumed she meant getting out of a marriage. And she then went on to expand to say that she had become unhappy, living in the limelight for that length of time in the way that she was, almost in a goldfish bowl. I could see that. And she just let go. And she talked for quite a long time about what she'd had to go through.
Scream at or someone put their arms around me, just listen. Just listen.
Princess Diana was unburdening all her problems onto us. And in one way it was rather a burden, because she was telling us some rather secret things that she obviously wouldn't want to go any further. And 1 minute you're in Tesco shopping, and the next minute you're sitting having yet another private audience with Princess Diana, who's unburdening all her darkest secrets to you.
Scream at or someone put their arms around me, just listen. Just listen.
She was like a friend who seemed to call at the right times, and It was nice to know that this very public figure, probably the most famous woman in the world, we had this private relationship with her.
We knew she was there supporting us. And again, with the disasters that followed the bereavement, she was there, always a kind word, and always saying something positive, you know, a bit of advice so that we could help ourselves out of the mess that we were in emotionally. She was just my guardian angel. Oh, I miss her terribly.
After she died, I looked at these two beautiful young women again in the photograph in a different way and thought, it's bloody sad, it's wrong that two such women are now dead, far, far too young. They're both, in their own ways, a great loss to us here, but wherever they are, I'm sure they're happy now.
Scream at, or someone put their arms around me, just listen. Just listen. And I said, what do I do? I'm coming to you, what do I do? And she said, I don't know what you should do. Shoulders hopeless. And that was it. That was help. And I said, what do I do? I'm coming to you, what do I do? And she said, I don't know what you should do. And she said, I don't know what you should do.
I think that she had this great love of people, but she needed to be loved as well. And I think that came back to her through the work that she did.
At Christmas 1991, an unexpected visitor jumped over the fence. Diana escaped the formalities of a royal Christmas and went to see what was happening in her old home.
She just wanted to perhaps get away from Sandringham. I think there's a certain amount of formality there, and she just wanted to relax and be herself. And she had the habit, I'm afraid, of going off without telling her security gentleman there, and I think on one or two of her occasions she'd caused a little bit of an alarm. She'd not told anyone where she'd gone, and I think Prince Charles in one instance was out on the Land Rover looking for her, and she just wanted to be with normal people, I think. She would get down literally on her knees and hold their hand and on the same level with them, and that means so much to disabled people. She just wanted to be able to cut the cake and pour out the tea and be a part of the proceedings there.
I think that she had this great love of people, but she needed to be loved as well. And I think that came back to her through the work that she did.
It was so interesting. So when I came here last time, we did a group session, and you asked all the ladies to name something positive they'd done in the week.
Yeah.
And it was quite a stumbling block for some of us.
Yeah.
Because people had to really think. If you asked them what the negative aspects of the week had been, you would have been flooded. But because it was positive, we all had to really think hard. Do you remember?
I think Diana had a great knack of making people feel at ease. She was a communicator. She could talk to anyone and make them feel relaxed. She was wonderful with the women. I'm sure you remember Jill. She would be very relaxed and friendly and warm and open, and she was very witty. She had a marvellous sense of humour. Would you like to participate?
Hot flush coming.
I think we'll pass. Rather than feeling amazed at this presence, I actually felt that I'd made a friend.
And you like yourself a bit better now?
Yes, yes. She cared deeply about the issue. She thought it was unacceptable to abuse a woman and beat a person up, and that she saw how the children were affected by abuse. Like a lot of people who come to the organisation or who work here, you do become very committed and passionate about the work, because it is an injustice.
A lot of my friends were happy, either happy in their relationships or...
Do you think they actually were, or do you think they were going through a similar thing as you and they were equally embarrassed not to share it?
She wasn't interested whether the press or the media or the world knew that she was here. She was here because she cared about refuge, she cared about the abused women, she cared about the abused children, she cared about me. And that really impressed me.
And I said, what do I do? I'm coming to you, what do I do? And she said, I don't know what you should do. Shoulders hopeless. And that was it. That was help. I said, what do I do? I'm coming to you, what do I do? And she said, I don't know what you should do. Shoulders hopeless. And that was it. That was help. Shoulders hopeless. Shoulders hopeless. Shoulders hopeless. And that was it. That was help. I was always told by my family that I was the thick one, that I was stupid, and that my brother was the clever one. And I was always so conscious of that. I used to go to heavens just crying, saying I wish I wasn't so stupid.
The greatest legacy that the princess has left us is her sons. And I think that that is due in no small part to the mother that they had.
Or the toll it's taken on mental health in the community.
You are all in this together. And If I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.
I don't think that's necessarily beneficial to anybody, but you know, our mental health campaign, Heads Together, back in the UK is a classic example. We were able to bring together 8 mental health charities that have been working in the sector for many, many, many years. But being able to bring them together and say, right, you guys have never sat around a table together and discussed the main issues. What we want to be able to do now is, through our foundation, create a platform in which your expertise and your experience is elevated. And therefore, you tell us what needs to be done around mental health within the UK and globally. And they said, if you can remove the stigma, that makes our life a lot easier. So that's exactly what we did. We tried to remove the stigma and tried to normalise the discussion around mental health.
And this is why I sort of said that the mind is has so many branches, so nobody can really ever pinpoint one specific solution for the mind, because there's so many other issues. Some are more complex and some are very simple. Like, for instance, you have so much issues going on. To alleviate that, just by talking could alleviate that issue. But some people need medication. So yeah, I hope I probably will do another video as more things come to mind. I should have included that in the last video. Thank you. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching.